All right, my fellow Xers, I got a quick question. I want everybody to comment down below and let me know what you think when it comes to it. When we get together and I tell a story, I got the video or now in the live stream, and we share the stories of when we were younger. Now, do we look back fondly and is it really that it was that great, no matter how tough it was, that we really thought even then it was that great? Or does it this nostalgia factor now that we look back and go, wow, that was awesome. Glad that was because it was nostalgia. Or is it now that we're older as well and not just nostalgia, but we look back and realize that rougher upbringing, being more left on our own and forced to become independent so much younger, prepared us for how rough it was when we launched and went out of the house and went out on our own, because the economy wasn't great, jobs weren't great and all that stuff. So it was a lot tougher and you had to be tougher mentally and socially with the way you could interact with people than you need to be today. Problem now is we look back on it fondly. Now, is it because we realize that it was better for us to have that upbringing because it prepared us for the world? Or is it just nostalgia and we long for the time where we had no responsibilities and we could just be as free as we wanted and do what we wanted when we wanted? Or do you look back and go, that was the hardest time of my life. I hated it. Is it the kid style? It sucked. It was no good. It wasn't for me. And I'm glad I survived and I got out of it. Because honestly, a lot of us lived the way we lived back then because we were told everything was so bleak. A lot of us didn't believe we were going to live past 21, 25, and we lived our lives accordingly. Turned out most of us made it. We did lose some friends along the way. It happens with everybody. Really, just a short little question and answer here. I would like to know what you think. I mean, comment down below. Is it because it really was that great of a childhood? I mean, it was great. I even thought it was great then. But I also look back on it fondly now for the nostalgia factor. Because there were so many things we were allowed to do and opportunities we had for growing up with experiences that you're not allowed to have today. And then there's also the fact that also when you're older, you look back and realize that if it wasn't for the way we were brought up and that upbringing that we were forced to live and be mature so much faster and more responsible for our own, prepared us for when we were adults and we moved forward and things weren't that bad. We learned to be tough, keep your head down and fight and push and claw your way and get what you want and achieve your goals, which is something that seems to be lacking today. Now, those of you that aren't in the Gen X era, I mean, there'll be some of you that are a little older and you're the younger boomer and you would know it was probably similar for you. And now the oldest millennials in the first few years of the 80s, sure, you'll kind of get it too. But those of you that are younger, you don't quite understand it and it wouldn't be the same. See, we knew then what a lot of people don't know now, and that is just because you're individual, you're not special. Nobody's going to think you're special. You're not a one of a kind. You see, and you talk about, they want to talk about now, little quick note here on the end, is how the younger generations are it's so much anxiety and they have this and it's emotional trauma and they're triggered about everything. Well, when it comes down to it and you want to be quite honest, I would have to say, I bet you any money out of the surviving generations, Gen X has the most emotional scarring and mental trauma than any generation's ever had. The difference is we don't rely on it. We don't use it as a crutch because we know nobody's going to give a damn but ourselves. So you can't throw it out there. And since everybody suffered that same trauma and emotional scarring, it doesn't make anybody special that you get to stand out and ask to be treated differently than everybody else because all of a sudden you're a special case because you think you are. Anyway, that was it. Just a quick little one today. I'd like to know what you think. What's the real reason we look back so fondly now as our time as kids raised as the Gen X children? Comment down below and let me know. I'll try and answer to all of them. And if you are a younger millennial or a Gen Z and you have a specific question about what it was, put it in the comments. Somebody will answer it. I'll come on and answer it. Start another conversation. So anyway, until next time, this is Drax saying, talk to you next time. I will see you next Saturday at the next live stream. And peace out, everybody.